Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this wonderful chapter Mergers and Acquisition. Now we'll take question number 32 in self practice. You will just move few pages ahead. You will come to question number 32, which is like the previous problem. Very important question for 20 marks, June 2009 exam. So first I'll read the question from your book. Pay attention. The following information relating to the acquiring company Abhiman Limited and the target company Abhishek Limited are available. Underline: acquirer is Abhiman and target is Abhishek. Both the companies are promoted by multinational company Trident Limited. So both have the same promoter, Trident. Two companies have the same promoter, Trident company. The promoters holding is 50% and 60% respectively in Abhiman Limited and Abhishek Limited. So the promoters are holding right now before merger 50% and 60% in Abhiman Limited and Abhishek Limited. Next, share capital is given. Free reserve and surplus, paid up value per share, one is 100 rupees, the other is 10 rupees. This is your face value, you can say. In this question they have given you free float market capitalization. So the problem contains at present free float market capitalization. Question has also given you promoters holding in percentage. Using that we can find out the total market capitalization as well as market price per share. And then P ratio is given. By using market price and P ratio, we can calculate the EPS. Trident Limited is interested to do justice to shareholders of both the companies. For the swap ratio, weights are assigned to different parameters by the board of directors as follows. So like the earlier questions, they have given you weights to be assigned. Book value. So book value means book value per share. EPS, market price, 25%, 50% and 25%. These are the weights to be assigned for calculating the weighted average swap ratio. So first question is that only. What is the swap ratio based on the above weights? Second question, what is the book value, EPS and expected market price of Abhiman Limited after acquisition of Abhishek Limited? Underline: assuming P ratio of Abhiman Limited remains unchanged, P ratio will remain the same, that is 10 and all the assets and liabilities of Abhishek Limited are taken over at their book values. Third question, calculate what will be promoters revised holding in the Abhiman Limited. The promoter is one party only, Trident Limited. So like some previous problem, we will calculate the promoters holding percentage. What will be free float market capitalization? Third question, also calculate number of shares, EPS and book value if after acquisition of Abhishek Limited, Abhiman Limited decided to A. issue bonus share in the ratio of 1:2. So after acquisition of Abhishek Limited, they will first issue bonus share in the ratio of 1:2. 1:2 means one bonus share for two existing share, and means both will happen together, and first bonus and then stock split. Split the stock as rupees 5 each fully paid. Right now the face value is 100 rupees. They want to convert into shares of face value 5 each, which means one share will be converted into 20 shares. So the number of shares will go up, or number of shares will be multiplied by 20, and the face value will become 5 rupees each. Total share capital will not be affected, but internally the number and the face value will get adjusted. So what I need to do first, I need to first find out the book value per share, earning per share, market price per share of these two companies, Abhiman and Abhishek Limited, before merger. Then only we can compute the remaining part of this answer. So let us write down step 1, calculation of book value per share, earning per share and market price per share MPS. Right hand side 2 columns, Abhiman Limited, Abhishek Limited. Point number A, share capital in bracket rupees in lakhs. Rupees in lakhs, keep the question in front of you fully. Rupees in lakhs. So that is 200 and 100. Next is point B, paid up value per share. Paid up value per share in rupees 110. 100 and second column 10. So point number C would be automatically number of shares. Number of shares. Number of shares A upon B in lakhs, 2 lakh, 10 lakhs. Number of shares 2 and 10. Point number D, write down reserve and surplus in bracket rupees in lakh. Reserve and surplus in question second line 800, 500. Free reserve means which can be distributed as dividend, but it will not affect my answer. Point number E, net worth. Net worth is A plus D. Share capital plus reserve, 200 plus 800. So are you getting 1000? Then 100 plus 500, 600. Very easy, nothing much to be explained till now. Point number F, write down promoters holding percentage. Promoters holding percentage is given in the problem first paragraph, 50%, 60%. Promoters holding percentage, point number F. Below that write down point number G. You will continue in the same table, one below the other. Point number G would be non-promoters holding percentage. Non-promoters holding percentage will be 50% and 40%. Why do I need it? Because in the problem free float market capitalization is given. Using free float market capitalization and non-promoters holding, I can calculate the total market capitalization. So what is free float market capitalization in bracket rupees in lakhs? 400 and 128. So now I will ask you a question. What will be total market capitalization? Yes, come on, total market capitalization. Free float is 400, non-promoters holding is 50%. So the total market capitalization will be H upon G. In bracket write H upon G, again write rupees in lakhs. Rupees in lakhs. So this is 800 and this is 320. Now you know the number of shares. If you know the number of shares, if you know the total market capitalization, you can find MPS. So next point number J would be MPS in rupees. Point number I, 800, divide by point number C. Your point number C is number of shares. Just check. number of shares. So 800 divided by 2, 400. 320 divided by 10, 32. This is MPS. Next, write down P ratio in times. P ratio in times given. So how many times is P ratio for Abhiman Limited? 10. 4. Can I now find out the EPS in rupees? Yes. EPS will be MPS upon P ratio. MPS upon P ratio. So I got 40 and 8. Now we have got MPS, EPS. What is pending? Book value per share is pending. Total earnings is pending. Total earning will be required for next answer, post merger EPS. So total earning will be C into L. C into L, rupees in lakhs. Sorry, what is the answer? C is number of share 2 lakh into 40, 80 lakhs. 10 into 8, again 80 lakh. And one more line write down for this working note, one more line, book value per share. Book value will be net worth divided by number of share. Net worth is in point number E. Number of share is in point number C. So net worth is 1000 sorry 1000 divided by 2, 500, and 600 divided by 10, 60. Can you see that? In rupees write down. In rupees. Book value per share in rupees. So this is the answer. Now I am going to apply MPS, EPS and book value per share in the calculation of swap ratio. So write down step 2, swap ratio. First you will try, then I will try, then both of us will check. So please solve swap ratio. 4 columns we will draw. Basis, exchange ratio, weight, weight into exchange ratio. First in basis column write down BVPS, one line blank, EPS, one line blank, MPS. Go to your step 1, search for book value per share of target company Abhishek Limited, 60, divide by 500. 60 divided by 500 is 0.12. EPS of Abhishek Limited 8 divided by 40 is 0.2. MPS of Abhishek Limited 32 divided by 400 0.08. 0.08. So now we'll write down the weights given in the question. 0.25, 0.50, 0.25, 0.25 into 0.12, 0.03, 0.50 into 0.2, 0.10, and 0.25 into 0.08 is 0.02. Therefore, the total is 0.15. The total is 0.15. So this is my weighted average swap ratio, 0.15. So what you should do in the exam, we should write properly. Therefore, swap ratio is 0.15, that is 0.15 shares of Abhiman Limited for one share of Abhishek Limited. This will help you to ensure that your institute does not misinterpret 0.15. 0.15 shares of Abhiman Limited for one share of Abhishek Limited. Now we'll write down below that step number 3. Step number 3, number of shares issued. How many shares are there in the balance sheet of Abhishek Limited? 10 lakh, which you have calculated in the step number 1. And the ratio, exchange ratio is 0.15. So 10 lakh into 0.15 is 1.5 lakhs. 1.5 lakhs. Then step number 4 is total number of shares after merger. Total number of shares after merger. We already have 2 lakh shares in the books of Abhiman plus this 1.5 lakh share issued. So 2 plus 1.5, write down 3.5 lakhs. Step number 4, total number of shares after merger 3.5 lakhs. Keep writing the step number, we can link all the workings. Step number 5, post merger book value per share. Post merger book value per share. The question says that all the assets and liabilities of Abhishek Limited are taken over at their book values. So right hand side rupees in lakhs. If all the assets and liabilities are taken over at their book values, then the combined net worth will be, or the combined net asset will be, the net worth of Abhiman Limited plus net worth of Abhishek Limited. If you are just going to add all the assets and liabilities, the net assets of the combined company will be total net assets of both the parties. So net assets or net worth of first company is 1000, already calculated in step 1, and target company is 600. This we have computed, you can write here as per step 1. As per step 1, and that is 1600. This comprise of, if you want to write, this comprise of 350 lakh share capital. Why 350 lakh? On the screen, number of shares after merger 3.5 lakh. 3.5 into 100, face value is 100, so 350 lakh will be share capital and remaining will be reserve and surplus. 1250 lakh will be reserve and surplus. Otherwise you can just simply understand the net assets of the two company total is 1600 lakhs. Then point number B, write down number of equity shares. Number of equity shares in bracket, write step number 4. We have got this figure from step 4, 3.5 lakh. The main point was A, which you have to understand is 1600 lakh net asset added of both the parties. And point number C will be BVPS, book value per share. Book value per share will be A by B, and this answer is in rupees. This 457.14 is rupees, so write down rupees. So this way this helps us to understand better. So we have got book value per share after merger. Now we have to also calculate post merger EPS and post merger MPS. That's very easy because total earnings we have computed. Post merger P ratio is given. So my task is very easy. Step number 6, write down calculation of post merger EPS and post-merger MPS. Post-merger EPS and post-merger MPS. Then right hand side write down rupees in lakhs. Rupees in lakhs, but all figures are not rupees in lakhs, so we'll have to write down. In cases where it is not rupees in lakhs, we have to mention here. First point A, write down total earnings. Go to your step 1. In the step 1 last second line, we have calculated the earnings of both the companies 80 and 80. This 80 plus 80 you will get from step 1. So write in bracket step 1 160. Number of shares in lakhs. Number of shares in lakh was from step number 4. Step number 4 3.50 number of shares. Point number C, write down EPS. A upon B in rupees. Take on your calculator 160 divided by 3.50. 160 divided by 3.50 45.71. Point number D, P ratio. P ratio in times. They are saying post-merger P ratio will be same as pre-merger P ratio of Abhiman Limited. So that is 10. Therefore, MPS in rupees, C into D. MPS in rupees, C into D, multiply these 2 points, you will get 457.10. So this 10 was already calculated or given to us. Same 10 will continue after the merger also. What is the next question? So sometimes they only ask these 2 questions for 8 marks. But now in third part of this question, they have asked you promoters revised holding in Abhiman Limited and the free float market capitalization after merger. These 2 companies have same promoters. So all the shares issued by Abhiman to Abhishek, some portion of it will be received by Trident Limited, that is the promoter. So we will do 2 things: total number of share, which we have done 3.5 lakh, number of shares held by promoter, we will get the promoters holding percentage. Balancing figure will be non-promoters holding percentage, and then non-promoter holding percentage into total market capitalization will give us the free float market capitalization. Right hand side write down amount. First write the heading: calculation of promoters revised holding and free float market capitalization. And free float market capitalization. Right hand side amount. Calculation of promoters revised holding and free float market capitalization. Right hand side amount. Now we'll first write down point number A, total number of shares in lakhs. Total number of shares in lakhs. That you write step 4. Step 4. Total number of shares in lakhs. Step 4. 3.50 lakh. Point B, promoters holding percentage. Promoters holding percentage. First you understand, then you copy. In the case of Abhiman Limited, 50% of the total share capital is held by promoter. Total number of shares are 2 lakh. So 50% of 2 lakh is held in Abhiman. And then this portion represent shares issued. Shares issued to promoters. Shares issued to promoters of Abhishek. How to calculate that? First understand, that out of 10 lakh 60% are held by the promoters, so 60% of 10, and the share exchange ratio is 0.15. So share exchange ratio is 0.15, 0.15 into 6 lakh, and this is 50% of 2. So please calculate 50% of 2 will be 1 lakh, 60% of 10, 6 lakh, and into 0.15, so 90,000. So the total number of shares which the promoters will be holding now is 1 lakh plus 90,000. 1 lakh plus 90,000 gives you 1 lakh 90,000. This is 1 and this is 0.9, 1 lakh 90,000. Out of 3.50 lakh, the promoter, whose name is Trident Limited, is holding 1.9 lakh. So 1.9 divided by 3.50, 1.9 divided by 3.50, this comes to 54.29%. 54.29%. Point number D, non-promoters holding percentage. Non-promoters holding percentage, 100 minus 54.29, 45.71%. So we have answered this part, promoters revised holding. Now we have to find out what will be the free float market capitalization. Point number E, MPS. MPS we have computed number 6 in rupees. Go to step 6 and tell me what was the MPS. 457.10. Point number F, total market capitalization. Total market capitalization will be A into E, rupees in lakhs, 1599.85. 1599.85. Total market capitalization. Now you can answer this question. Free float market capitalization will be non-promoter holding percentage into total market capitalization. So point number G would be free float market capitalization. Multiply D into F and write in bracket rupees in lakhs. Rupees in lakhs. 731.29. 731.29. So this is the free float market capitalization. So you have answered part C, part 2 also. Come to C, part 3. Also calculate the number of share, earning per share and book value per share if after acquisition Abhiman Limited decided to issue bonus share in the ratio of 1:2 and split the share in the ratio of, or split the share of rupees 5 each fully paid. So now first I need to find out what will be the total number of shares after bonus shares are issued and stock split. Bonus share and stock split. These are not two different situations, they are same. First they will issue bonus share and then they will split into shares of rupees 5 each. So my next working note should be automatically 8. Number of shares of Abhiman Limited after bonus issue and stock split. After bonus issue and stock split. First write down right hand side amount. Point number A, start with point A, number of shares in lakhs as per step number 4, 3.50. Now tell me, if you issue bonus share in the ratio of 1:2, how many bonus share will be issued? If bonus ratio is 1:2, how many bonus share will be issued? So point number C, B, write down bonus ratio 1:2. Bonus shares will be 1/2 into 3.50. 1/2 into 3.50 in lakhs. So this company will first issue 1.75 lakh bonus share. 3.50 plus 1.75. So now the total number of shares after bonus share. Total number of shares after bonus share. Check how much is that? A plus C. 5.25 lakhs in lakhs. And now after the bonus share, they have divided one share into 20 shares. The 5.25 will get multiplied by 20. One share of 100 is converted into 20 shares of rupees 5 each. Stock split means shares of higher face value is converted into shares of smaller face value. So next line, write down share split ratio. Share split ratio 20:1, 100 by 5. Share of 100 rupees converted into shares of 5 rupees. So share split ratio will be 20:1. And now we'll get the number of shares after share split now. Number of shares after share split, D into E, multiply D into E, that is 105 lakhs. So you see the story of this company. This company had 2 lakh shares before we started this question, and now this company has 105 lakh shares. So how your EPS, book value per share and market price per share will get affected, that also will write. So now the total earning will get divided by this many share. Total net worth will be divided by this many share. Total market capitalization will be divided by this many shares. So what will be the effect? The effect will be that this all numbers will get changed substantially. So step number 9, which is my compute revised EPS and revised book value. So write down step 9. As per the question, you have to compute revised EPS and revised book value. Revised BVPS and EPS. Right hand side, amount. First write down point A, number of shares after bonus share and stock split. Number of share after bonus share and stock split. Number of share after bonus share and stock split. Step 8 write down. Step 8 is 105 lakhs. 105 lakhs. Point B, write down combined earnings. Rupees in lakhs, step 6. Combined earning rupees in lakhs, step 6. So you have to go to step 6 and search for combined earning. Try. First line there, 160 lakh. Earnings will not change because of bonus share. Earnings will not change because of stock split. Earnings will remain same because no new capital comes in the business. Only there is an internal change between reserve to share capital, number of shares goes up or face value goes down, but really speaking the company's total capital employed does not change. So 160. Point number C, revised EPS. Revised EPS will be 1.52 lakhs. Rupees 1.52, not lakhs. Rupees 1.52 B upon A. B upon A in bracket rupees. This figure is in rupees. This is in rupees in lakhs. This is numbers in lakhs. So every figure has a different unit. Point number D, write down combined net worth. Combined net worth rupees in lakhs. Where is combined net worth? Go to step 5. You will go to step 5, you will search and tell me what is the combined net worth. Search step 5. So you will find it is 1600 lakhs rupees in lakhs. Combined net worth divided by total number of share, and this will give me revised book value per share. 1600 divided by 105 in rupees. So that comes to 15.24 rupees. This is the answer of this wonderful question for 20 marks. They could have also asked you combined, market price per share. Now just extra write down extra. Suppose in your exam they also ask you what is revised market price per share. Now you go to your step number 7, where the total market capitalization was 1599.85. Can you see that in step number 7? Total market capitalization was 1599.85 and total number of shares will be 105. 1599.85 divided by 105 is rupees 15.24. So this is total MPS in rupees after bonus share and after stock split. If they ask you, you can add. So this is your extra gyan. We'll call it extra gyan. This is, don't write in the exam if not asked, but if asked, you can write. Now just write down for your general knowledge. Note, bonus share and stock split do not affect total earnings. Do not affect total earnings, total net worth, and total market capitalization. MCAP means market capitalization. So that is why the same earning, same net worth we have taken. Of course, the number of shares will change. Number of shares will change. So this answer is over. Very simple question. Now we'll go to question number 18. So dear student, please come to another important question number 18. We are on question number 18 now. First I'll read it from your book. Anil Limited, back to Anil, is considering the immediate purchase of some or all of the shares of one of the two firms, Mukesh Limited and Dhirubhai Limited. So Anil wants to acquire shares of either Mukesh or Dhirubhai. Both Mukesh and Dhirubhai have 1 lakh equity share issued. Both parties, Mukesh and Dhirubhai, has 1 lakh equity share issued, and neither company has any debt capital outstanding. So no debt. Both companies are 100% equity finance company. Both firms are expected to pay a dividend in 1 year's time. So both companies will pay dividend after 1 year. Okay. Then it says Mukesh expected dividend. So first I will To explain, I am writing, you will not write. First, they are talking about Mukesh. Mukesh expected dividend amounts to rupees 3 per share. And Dhirubhai, I am explaining it to you, you don't have to write. Dhirubhai dividend will be, D1 will be 2.70. Dividend will be paid annually and are expected to increase over time. Mukesh dividend are expected to display a perpetual growth at a compound rate of 6% per annum. So growth rate here will be 6% per annum. And what about Dhirubhai? Dhirubhai dividend will grow at a high annual compound rate of 33 1/3% until a dividend of rupees 6.40 per share is reached in year 4. So first it will grow at the rate of 33 1/3%. So it will become 2.70 plus 33 1/3%, 3.60 plus 33 1/3%, 4.80, 6.40. So first 4 year super normal growth rate of 33 1/3%, and thereafter Dhirubhai's dividend will remain constant. That is your D5 till infinity will become 6.40 per annum. D5 till infinity, the dividend will become constant at 6.40 per annum. This is how you have to interpret this paragraph. Next, third paragraph in your book. If Anil is able to purchase all the equity capital of either firm, then the reduced competition would enable Anil to save some advertising and administration cost. So if suppose you are able to acquire completely 100% takeover, if you can take over these two companies completely 100%, means you have full control now. Now because you have full control, you are able to change their operations, change their business to some extent, and it will help you to save advertisement and administrative costs, which will amount to 2,25,000 per annum. This will be the saving per annum, okay, forever. Only if you get 100% acquisition. And in year 2 also some saving is there. In the year 2, to sell some office space at rupees 8 lakh. This 8 lakh you will receive by selling office space. But that is a one-time cash flow, 8 lakh. These benefits and saving would accrue only if a complete takeover were to be carried out. So these two benefits are possible only when 100% of the shares are acquired. Anil would change some operations of any company completely taken over. So once you take over 100% of the share, you can change their businesses and you can change the operation and save certain cost. Next paragraph, the details are, now in case of complete takeover, what will happen? In case of complete takeover, not only you will get these benefits, you can even change the way dividends were paid. In the case of Mukesh, no dividend would be paid until year 3. That means in case of complete takeover in Mukesh Limited, you will not pay any dividend for first and second year. Year 3 dividend will be 2.50 per share, and then dividend will grow at the rate of 10% per annum indefinitely. So in case of 100% takeover, in case of Mukesh, D3 will be 2.50 and growth rate will increase to 10%. First and second year no dividend. What about Mukesh? What about Dhirubhai? In case of Dhirubhai, no change in total dividend in year 1 to 4. So once you acquire 100% of Dhirubhai, first 4-year dividend pattern will be the same, and then dividend will grow at the rate of 25% per annum compound until year 7. But after fourth year, dividend of 5th year, dividend of 6th year, dividend of 7th year will grow at the rate of 25%. So 6.40 plus 25%. So whatever is that, let's say 8 plus 25%, 10 plus 25%, 12.50. So this will be the pattern of dividend, and thereafter dividend will remain constant at year 7 amount per share. So D8 till infinity, dividend will become constant, but in case of complete takeover. So this question is all about dividend. Next paragraph. An appropriate discount rate for the risk inherent in all cash flows is 15%. So that is your discount rate. Cost of capital is 15%. For all the discounting purpose, you take 15%. You are required to. Now there are two questions. You are required to, question number 1, valuation per share for a minority investment in each firm, Mukesh and Dhirubhai, which would provide the investor with a 15% rate of return. Now in case of minority investment, you have to accept what is paid to you. So in case of Mukesh, I will get 3 rupees dividend in year 1, which will grow at the rate of 6%. In case of Dhirubhai, in case of minority investment, I will get a dividend of 2.70, 3.60, 4.80, 6.40 and then 6.40 per annum forever. I will not be able to enjoy these benefits because I am a minority investment. I can't change the operations. I can't change their dividend policy. But in case of complete takeover, second part, the maximum amount per share which Anil should consider paying for each company in the event of a complete takeover. In the event of a complete takeover, we will take this revised dividend policy, plus we will also add the benefit that we will receive by changing the operation and selling the office space. And similarly, in case of Dhirubhai, we will take all 7-year dividend and plus this revised dividend plus this benefits of complete takeover. So this way we have to find out the maximum amount payable per share. Seems to be a little complicated one, but actually it is very easy. So we have to get 4 answers. First, case 1, minority investment. When I will calculate the value for this Mukesh Limited and Dhirubhai Limited, then complete takeover, where I will again calculate the value for Mukesh Limited and Dhirubhai Limited. So first write down case 1, minority investment. Under minority investment means we just accept the dividend paid by these two companies. We will not be able to change their operation. We will not be able to change their dividend policy. Right, let us begin this wonderful question now. First write down Mukesh Limited. Point number 1, write Mukesh Limited. Under Mukesh Limited, write dividend per share D1 rupees 3. Dividend 3 rupees. Growth rate 6%. Cost of capital 15%. This is a very fundamental question of calculating price of a share under dividend discount model. You have learned this formula in earlier chapters also, like valuation of share, portfolio management, business valuation. So let us apply this formula. Value per share equal to D1 upon K minus G. This is called dividend discount model for a dividend which is growing at a constant rate. 3 upon 15% minus 6%. So that is rupees 33.33, that is rupees 33.33. This is the price Anil should pay for Mukesh Limited in case of a minority investment. In case of a minority investment. Now write down one line blank, then point number 2, Dhirubhai Limited. Dhirubhai Limited valuation of share. Now this time it is a two-stage growth model problem. First 4-year growth rate will be 33.33% and thereafter the growth rate will be 0. Draw a table, year, cash flow, present value factor at the rate of 15% and present value. First write down year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to infinity, and after applying the formula of perpetuity we will get a value which is the present value at the end of year 4 or price at the end of year 4. So we will call it P4. We will call it P4. This is not new to us. This is the basic calculation of a two-stage growth model. First 4-year and thereafter terminal value for 5 to infinity, which is P4. So start 2.70 plus 33 1/3%, 3.60 plus 33.33%, 4.80 plus 33.33%, 6.40, and then P4 will be A upon R. A upon R. A upon R is equal to 6.40 upon 15%. 6.40 upon 15% is 42.67. 42.67. Check the answer. 6.40 divided by 0.15. So it is 42.67. This is the price at the end of 4th year, P4. So while applying the present value factor, you will apply the 4th year factor here. So start on your calculator. 1 divided by 1.15, 0.8696, again equal to 0.7561, 0.6575, 0.5718, again write 0.5718. Here the students sometimes make mistake. They write here 5th year factor. No, we are not calculating present value of dividend. We are calculating the present value of price. And the price you will get is at the end of year 4. If an infinite series starts from year 5, and if I apply the formula A upon R, you will get the present value at the end of year 4. And this you need to discount by 4 more years, so that you will get the value in year 0. Now write down PV. On your own you try and take the total. Take the total of the last column on your own. First multiply cash flow into present value factor and then take the total. So time over, let us check the answer. I will only give you the total of this, which I have 36.28. This is the answer if minority investments are acquired for these two companies. Now keep one line blank. What you have seen that you just accept the dividend that is paid to you. Case 2, write down complete takeover. Complete takeover means 100% acquisition. That means you can change the operations, you can change the dividend pattern. So there are two benefits now. One benefit is you will save administration cost, you will sell some office space. That is one benefit. Second benefit is dividend. So what you pay for today is the present value of the future benefits that you will get. But in case of complete takeover, there are two benefits: dividend as usual and some savings in cost and some amount raised by selling the office space. So this time we will write one common working note first. Whether you acquire Mukesh or Dhirubhai, you are going to save administration and advertisement cost, plus in second year you will sell the office space. So one common working note for both companies is step 1, calculation of present value of benefit. Calculation of present value of benefit in the case of complete takeover. In the case of complete takeover, so we'll draw a table: year, particulars, cash flows, present value factor at the rate of 15% and present value. Year, particular, cash flow, PV factor at the rate of 15% and present value. Write 1 dash infinity, 1 to infinity. Immediately after acquiring this company, you can save administration and advertisement costs. So 1 dash infinity, write down saving in advertisement and administration cost. Fully saving in administration and advertisement cost. How much will you save? 2,25,000 per annum, and this is forever. So I will directly go to the last column and I will apply the formula A upon R, present value of an infinite constant annuity, A upon R. So that is 2,25,000 divided by 15%, which is 1,50,000. Point number 2, sale of office space. Sale of office space, which you will write in year 2, 8 lakh. This is only one time cash flow. So apply the second year factor, 0.7561. Second year factor, multiply 6,04,915. 6,04,915. And now write down point number next, total. Total PV will be 21,04,915. So there is a small typing error here. It is 15 lakh. 15 lakh, this is 15 lakh. Plus 6,04,915, 21,04,915. Both companies have 1 lakh shares outstanding. So whether I take Mukesh or whether I take Dhirubhai, number of shares are same. So in either of the two companies, my benefit per share will be 21,04,915 divided by 1 lakh. 21,04,915 divided by 1 lakh, and that is equal to 21.05 rupees per share. So this is one common answer for both companies. In addition to that, we will get dividend as per the revised dividend policy. So now we'll have to prepare two more working notes, one for Mukesh, one for Dhirubhai. So now write down step 2, PV of dividend of Mukesh Limited. PV of dividend of Mukesh Limited. Under that write down expected dividend at the end of year 3, expected dividend at the end of year 3, D3 is equal to 2.50, growth rate G equal to 10%, cost of capital, this is same 15%. Now pay attention, the first dividend this time you will not receive in year 1, you are going to receive the first dividend at the end of 3rd year. So when you will apply the formula A upon R minus G, you get the present value at the end of year 2. If it is A3, then the formula gives you PV2, and this PV2 needs to be again discounted by 2-year factor to get PV0. Two calculations we'll have to perform. First we'll find out the present value of infinite annuity, which will give me present value at the end of year 2, that needs to be further discounted by year 2 factor, which will give me the present value today. So based on that, let us write down. You have to know one thing which we have done 100 times. If an infinite annuity series is not starting from the first year, then you need to do discounting twice. So write down PV0 equal to D3 upon Ki minus G, bracket D3 upon Ki minus G. This will give me PV2 multiplied by PV factor of 2 year and 15%, multiplied by, this is multiplied sign, PV factor 2nd year 15%. So now you will understand 2.50 divided by 15% minus 10% into the PV factor is 0.7561. P factor is 0.7561. Now solve it. First you take 2.50 divided by, this will be 5%. Whatever answer you get, multiplied by 0.7561. So that is 37.81. 37.81. Now write down step 3. Calculation of present value of dividend of Dhirubhai Limited. Calculation of PV of dividend of Dhirubhai Limited. Calculation of PV of dividend of Dhirubhai Limited. Write year, cash flow, PV factor at the rate of 15% and PV, present value. Let us first understand what they have said. First 4-year dividend will remain same, means what we have computed earlier. They will not change the dividend pattern of first 4 year, but 5th, 6th and 7th year dividend will grow at the rate of 25%, and thereafter the dividend will remain constant. So first 4 years you copy from your earlier answer. Case 1, minority investment, go there, check these numbers are there, and now add 25% for next 3 years. So this is 8, this is 10, this is 12.50. Now it will remain constant. It will remain constant from 8 year till infinity. So by applying the formula A upon R, I will get P7. So write down here in bracket P7. price at the end of 7th year. P7 is equal to D8 upon K. D8 upon K. D8 will be same 12.50 divided by 15%. Check the calculation. 12.50 divided by 15%, 83.33. This 83.33 is the price of the share at the end of 7th year. So I will multiply this also by 7th year factor. So take your calculator, write the factors first. 1 divided by 1.15 equal to, how much you are getting? 0.8696. Again press equal to 0.7561, 0.6575, 0.5718, 0.4972, 0.4323, 0.3759, and don't make the mistake, this same factor I have to write here, because this is the present value factor for 7th year, price you are getting at the end of 7th year. So now what you do, multiply these two columns and take the total. I will give you 5 seconds to try. Multiply cash flow and PV factor and get the total. We will only check the total. We will not check individual number. Please, dear student, try. Use memory plus function. You can do it. This question can come under valuation of share chapter or mergers chapter, because concepts are based on valuation. Okay, time over. Let us check the answer. The total will be 56.20, but the answer is not over. Why? I have to calculate the maximum amount that we can pay for Mukesh or Dhirubhai. So now write down step number 4, maximum amount per share which Anil should consider paying. And here we will have to add two things. One, the PV of benefits by changing the operations, and second, the PV of dividend. That is why we have prepared PV of benefit working note, which is common for both the companies. Right hand side two columns, Mukesh, Dhirubhai. Point number A, present value of savings. Present value of savings in bracket step 1, you will find out in case 2 step 1, 21.05. This is common. Either Mukesh or Dhirubhai, whichever one you acquire, this is your savings. Point B, write down PV of dividend. PV of dividend, write down step 2 and step 3. In step 2, you will get Mukesh Limited 37.81, and in step 3, the previous one, you will get 56.21. So therefore write down maximum amount per share. Maximum amount per share. What will you pay maximum? The present value of all the benefits that you will get. So the benefit and the dividend in present value terms, in case of Mukesh, is 58.86. So this is what you can pay for Mukesh, and 77.26. This is what you can pay for Dhirubhai Limited. This answer is over. Now we'll take a small break.